Assalamu alaikum, fam. Hope you're doing well. It's a beautiful cold day. I love it. Now, let's continue to push against evil and talk about how OnlyFans is cancer. Now, let's say your man is your photographer. He knows your profession. He knows what you're doing. And you are an empowered woman. And you feel like you're on top of the world. And you're sucking up dudes' money. And your cuck husband, boyfriend, is helping you to facilitate and taking advantage of and grooming men through their simp mentality. There can be a day where your husband, boyfriend, begins to have a mental breakdown. When he sees a better couple who are in love, they're happy, they're religious, they are in the natural order, ordained by God, and maybe he wakes up for a bit. The veil of shaitan wakes up from him and he says, oh, wait a minute, maybe I don't want my woman to do that. And then he comes to you and tries to tell you, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired of you showing your coochie and everything else to the entire world. I want you for me and only me. Delete your OnlyFans. And then you talk about you're an empowered, atheist, liberal woman and, you're a queen, and he decides to snap. This won't play out well for you. Especially if he's stronger than you, even if he's a spaghetti noodle armed dude, and you have no weapon to protect yourself. You don't know how to fight. This could end very poorly. And then you will be mentally traumatized. But there is hope. There is hope where you can stop doing that career and stop gambling with your stability in life. You should not want to have a man who allows you to be pimped. You should not desire to have an unrighteous man who sees you as something to make money through, as a vapid object where men stare at a screen and touch themselves. That is not a sustainable relationship, because eventually somebody's mental health is going to go super perverted or very strange. And a man like that is not very safe for children. You may have no children with this man, and then you have a little daughter. You've made a very perverted husband who perverts his wife. Why is that guy going to be safe around your children? You should be very, very careful with having a perverted boyfriend, husband, and then bringing children into that ecosystem. You can get bitten by the same snake that you hatched. It is highly dangerous to have that level of a perverted, demonic man around, because he's an inversion. He is unholy. He is detestable. He is weak. He is a worm. That behavior is not natural in the human order. Not natural at all. Now you may argue, some animals, they have, they mate, and the woman gets passed around by all of them. But you must understand, there can come a time where that man is tired of being the one who sits in the corner and watches, and he's degraded and humiliated. He can have a moment where he says, no, I want someone who loves me, and if someone who loves me does this to me, it's mental abuse. I don't want to do it anymore. And maybe he gets to meet a righteous person, and this righteous person tells him, you are being led astray by your woman. She's harming you. Here, reform yourself, repent, become pure, and go somewhere else. And now you're alone, and now you have to go find a new guy who will then be your simp boyfriend, who lets you pimp yourself out for money. It's not going to work out well. Those guys make the worst husbands. They're lazy, they're going to live off of you, and they can leave you Because they're like, why? Everyone saw you. You're nothing special. You ain't got no milk in you. I'm out. You must understand, and I know it's hard because of the way the feminist, liberal, atheist women's are heavily brainwashing the young girls in the university. They degrade religious conservatism in favor of progressive sexual radicalism. But I really want you to look at what system has endured the longest. These fake theories that these fart-sniffing professors talk about in their echo chamber laptop classes? Or is it going to be men and their biology and what they desire in a mate? You have to think. You may be... Okay, let me put it this way. You may be an atheist who doesn't believe in God. But do a mental experiment. What type of male archetype is seen as the best in the eyes of God? It's definitely not going to be the weak man who allows every dude to plow his wife, to open up his wife's shirt anytime they want, to smack his wife's butt anytime any dude passing by, he can smack it. As long as he tosses $10 in her face, throws, some money in her face, they can do whatever they want. Most men who have dignity are not going to allow that. And if a man doesn't have dignity, honor, righteousness, masculinity, he is of the worst kind of man. He is unfit to be a husband, unfit to be a father. In fact, he's unfit for everything except for being a servant of Iblis. You must understand that you may not be hearing this alternative view because of how the feminist activists and the leftists, the soy drinkers, are creating algorithms that promote the opposite of reality. And that can leave you feeling lonely, isolated, angry, brainwashed, and others and such. But before you get angry, before you get defensive, ask yourself, is it healthy that you have your husband, your boyfriend, take pictures of you and help you to manage your OnlyFans account? Is it healthy that he allows you to use Tinder and hook up with other dudes? This is not. Your youth is going to run out. You will become a fetish, a cougar, they call them. That is not going to play out well. You should desire something better for yourself. And that is possible. You simply need to repent of your behavior, turn back to Allah Subhanahu, focus on reforming yourself, and take up the wonderful challenge of enduring the battles and trials of resisting Iblis and his legions. It's easy to act like a feminist liberal atheist and allow yourself to be passed around like a joint. Everybody gets a puff. That's easy. There's no honor in what is easy. There's no honor in that, no glory in that. And on the day of accounting, whether you believe in it or not, you want your scales to be heavy. But if each day you are tempting men to do bad things behind their wife's back, making money in an illicit way, spending money in bad ways because you're probably not doing a lot of charity with that money that you get. You're mostly probably spending it on plastic surgery, more clothes, the ripple effect of that. And then you're dishonoring your spouse. You're causing him to sin by making him and brainwashing him into helping you do more sins. So it's stacking up. The stacking up of that on the day of judgment could overwhelm you, right? You could be taking money from dudes who are supposed to be paying their child support. Now you may say, which most feminists say, well, that ain't my problem. I make my money and it's alright. That's not really how you should look at it. You should want to help families stay together, to help your spouse become stronger. By making him a cuck, by emasculating him, you are weakening him. So you're doing a sin by making him weak, by making him detestable in the eyes of the Creator. Because only Shaitan enjoys that type of lustful perversion. You need to resist that. And don't say, well, men do this and men do that. Start with yourself. Be part of the change. Be part of that. And the way you can help do that is to not have your partner help you in any way of your OnlyFans. And then, second step, getting rid of it altogether and just endure being poor. It's okay to reject materialism of this realm and to do good deeds and expect your reward in the akhirah, in the hereafter. Do not be like these women who want to chase materialism at any cost. Any cost? So you're going to sell yourself, degrade your man, degrade your honor, degrade his honor, emasculate him, take money in bad ways, and then you think that that is not going to affect society, affect your mental health, his mental health, the mental health of your fans and their families, and that none of that's going to come up when you die. If you believe in the Buddhistic and Hinduistic karma analogy, if you believe in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, but even if you don't, you can notice there's a thread of accountability in all of them. So, if you recognize the fact that accountability occurs as a common theme throughout every religion, and then think that this behavior you're engaging in will have no boomerang effect, won't come back on you, that is a mistake. And sometimes Allah can punish you in a way that you didn't even see coming. You think, oh, I'll close this door, I'll close that window, and next thing you know, the roof is collapsing on your head. You have to understand, you cannot outwit Allah Azza wa Jal. There is nowhere you can go in this world where Allah Azza wa Jal can't find you. Everything is being recorded. You still have time, inshallah, to change. Anyone who tells you to do this type of career is an enemy to you and your salvation. Paradise is better than any Gucci bag. Paradise is better than any pair of high heels or 17 injections of Botox into your face. Better than all of that. Better. Trust me. You have to have this sense of dignity again. Don't sell your soul. Don't sell your essence, your dignity. Don't believe these feminist, liberal, atheist women. They are not a good role model. They will probably be the most humiliated on the day of judgment. Right now, they oppress us by censoring us online. They have a monopoly in media, Hollywood, universities. Their books get promoted while others that are better don't. They have a ton of different ways to nudge their way into the market of ideas. But their reign won't be forever. When their agenda collapses, and inshallah it will because it is of Iblis, and unholy and unrighteous, you don't want to be sitting in the ashes, wishing you would have turned around. You would have loathed those people who brought you into that lifestyle and who lied to you. Those who encourage you to sin are not your friends, little doves. They're really not. I really wish someone would have told me that when I was younger. And I know it feels good to rebel against what is good when you're young because you have so much energy. You know, it's a hard time for you young folk. But you have to do it. That is the glorious of the challenge. Wrestle with the devil and win. Resist. Truly, if you're degrading your husband and you think you're safe around a guy like that he's going to be a good father, a good family man, he's weak and he is nothing. And he needs to leave you and you need to leave him. And he needs to become a man again and you need to become righteous. And you need to stay away from the feminist, liberal atheists. Because you can be tossed in hellfire with them. And you must rise above sin. You must crawl out of the mud and climb up those peaks. Do not think their necklaces, their different hair colors that they change every week, their long dinosaur nails, They're bathing in perfume. All that's going to go away on the day of judgment when all the sins are laid upon the record. You can do better. Endure their laughter. Sure, they mock you. Oh, look at you, you're playing. You don't have this, you don't have that. I have a mansion, I have a Bugatti. But meanwhile, they've had 500 dudes, and literally thousands of men have seen all their most private things. And righteous dudes who are masculine, honorable, and loved in the sight of Allah run from those women like fleas on a dog. You don't want to be a part of that group. You don't. Take some advice from a big sister. It is not a beautiful road. Cut the ties from those women. Cut it off, fam. You still have time to change, inshallah, if you see this video. And then you won't be able to say nobody told you. The money is addicting, but hellfire burns.